So for this video, we're going to figure out how do we find exact values of trig functions from given stipulations using their identities and definitions, things like that. So there is definitely a way to do these problems here using right triangles. That's not what this video is. This video is using our properties in order to find these exact values. So jumping straight into it, we are told that cosecant of t is, cosine of t is equal to negative 2/5, and we're told that tangent of t is equal to negative square root of 21 over 2. And what they want us to find is they want us to find sine t. So there's a few properties that we can take a look at in order to try and figure out how do we hash this problem out. Because if we take a look at some trig identities, if we look at the reciprocal identities, we're told that sine t is equal to 1 over cosecant t. But, well, we are not given cosecant t, so we can't just plug into this one in order to stipulate it. We also have some quotient identities that tell us that tangent t is equal to sine t over cosine t. So let's see if we have enough information to maybe plug into that one. Well, we're given cosine and we are given tangent. So we are given 2 out of the 3 stipulations for this property here. So since we only have one unknown, we are able to use the quotient identity here to help us figure this out. So that's actually exactly what I'm going to do to answer this problem. I'm going to take this property, the fact that tangent is equal to sine over cosine. So I'm going to plug in what I know. I know that tangent is negative square root of 21 over 2. And I'm told that this is equal to sine over cosine. Now, we're trying to figure out the sine part, but we do know that cosine is a negative 2/5. Now, in order to solve this problem, actually, so on this right-hand side, since we are dividing by a negative 2/5, I'm actually going to multiply both sides of this equation by a negative 2/5. That way, on the right-hand side, the negative 2/5 here cancels with that negative 2/5, leaving us with sine t. And on the left-hand side, we can simplify here. Negative cancels with negative, 2 cancels with 2, and we are left with the square root of 21 over 5. That is exactly what sine t would equal to. Now for the other example that I have over here, we're given sine and cosine, and we're asked to find tangent, cosecant, and secant. Starting off with finding tangent, we're going to use that same exact property that we used in this example over here before that tells us that tangent is equal to sine over cosine. Now we are given sine and cosine, so sine is a negative 2/5, and if we divide that by cosine, square root of 21 over 5, we can literally throw this into our calculator and simplify that. Now when you do throw that into your calculator and simplify, you are left with a negative 2 square roots of 21 over 21. Simplifying this by hand real quickly, take the top, take your numerator, the negative 2/5. You are dividing this by your denominator, the square root of 21 over 5. Keep in mind, keep the first one, change to multiplication, flip the second fraction, and multiply this across to get this here. Then you would rationalize the denominator, multiply both sides by square root of 21, simplify this out, and you are going to get the negative 2 square roots of 21 over 21. Again, sometimes you're able to use a calculator, sometimes you are not for these examples here. In order to find cosecant t, the thing that we need to know is that cosecant t is equal to 1 over sine t. So we need to use that property in order to figure this out. Well, 1 over sine, our sine is a negative 2/5. So we have 1 divided by a negative 2/5, which is the same thing as 1 times a negative 5/2, which means cosecant t is equal to a negative 5/2. And for secant t, one of our reciprocal identities, secant t is equal to 1 over cosine t. So that means in order to simplify this, we are doing 1 over the square root of the square root of 21 over 5. Or again, our rules, that is 1 divided by the square root of 21 over 5. Using our division rule, changes that to 1 times 5 over the square root of 21. 1 times anything, is that anything? Just rationalize the denominator real quickly over here, leaving us with 5